I don't have anything going on. I'm here to also be entertained and participate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You still have your you have your appendix and your
I
tonsils?
have every part of my body except for the
Your
tip
fore.
of my.
It's your foreskin. It's not your. They don't cut your Dan.
Then cut the tip of your off.
Jesus. Okay. Have you ever had a UTI before?
Nope. But I have something that kind of counts. One time I got really bad food poisoning, like really bad, like dry vomiting for hours at nighttime. And the next morning, when I woke up and I took a piss, I pissed blood. Like, and I don't mean like, oh, like my urine was like red. Like there was like blood clots or something. Like it was actual like I don't like you could see the blood cells. I know that sounds weird. And I went to a urologist pretty soon after that, and yeah, they saw blood in my thing, and let me tell you, they stick a camera up your dick, and that is not pleasant. Okay,
Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, well, I'm just letting you know that it's not
Yeah.
pleasant.
Anything going up the urethra is probably not going to feel good. I
Well,
got
not
that.
only is it not pleasant, it makes you feel like you have to pee really, really bad because the way it works. How do you think it works? First of all, I'm about to enlighten you. What do
How
you
do I
think
think what
happens?
works?
Uh, the putting the camera up your dick. What do you
They.
think they do? Don't look at chat.
Well, I imagine they probably have to. I don't think they would give you an erection, but I'm sure they got to stretch your dick out or put it in some thing so that you're not like squiggling around or some shit. Then they probably put in the tip and they just slide it on in, huh?
Nope. There's another part you're missing, which makes it fucking miserable. Okay.
Do they you make you drink something or do pee first or
No.
something or I don't know
They
what?
fucking they pump water into your dick, into your bladder. So it's not just a camera, it's also a fucking hose. And they're pumping fluid in there. So they're blowing up everything so they can see what's going on. So not only are you in this intense pain of this thing inside of your dick, but you have the intense feeling like you have to fucking take a piss super bad.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it sucks. And anyway, they didn't even know what happened. So I don't know.
Well, I hope you at least had fun with the experience.
I didn't. I've had a colonoscopy also. Um, so yeah, both of those things I've done.
Was that just like an age thing, or did you have like a reason to get it, or
I uh I was having blood when I took a shit
are you
sometimes.
bleeding for out of every orifice, Dan? Are you okay?
No, well, first off, out of my
Jesus
dick was
Christ.
that was one time after I had insane food poisoning and was dry heaving for hours. I
Uh
probably
huh.
fucking tore something. Um, and the blood thing I think is just kind of common if you sit down a lot. It's like you get a fistula or a fissure or whatever, and yeah. So I don't know. It's
Jesus.
that's not fun either.
No, yeah. I mean, it doesn't sound fun at all.
Why would someone, Dan, you haven't had your wisdom teeth removed? Did you pick that up from when I said that I haven't had my wisdom teeth removed? That is accurate and true.
Okay.
Um, okay. It's probably not a good idea, but I want to the thing I messaged you today. You open to discuss that a little bit right now?
Um, sure. I feel like you're gonna get super triggered in this discussion, but yeah, let's go.
Ooh, maybe I don't want to discuss it then until I just force it.
I think it's a good idea. I just think there's 0% chance of it ever working. I would love to do something like this, but there's just no
I would love
chance.
to also.
Yeah.
I
Dan
so
wants to do
okay.
like adversarial interviews. Basically, you find people that are involved in like a current drama, a current crazy thing, and then you bring them on and you ask them like actual tough questions about it to like really get to the meat of it. I think something like that would be fucking awesome. But the thing is,
Amazing.
nobody would ever want to agree to that unless they're a total fucking loser and they're like fucked on all
No,
portions of the
I
internet
don't
anyway.
agree. All right. So let me give my take on. So I just woke up and I decided that I thought I know you like Lex very much, but I just made a post out. I'm not a fan of what he's doing, and
Okay.
I thought to myself like, what would be better? And I think that first off, it doesn't have to be entirely adversarial, but it should be a real interview. Like it's not like, hey, so tell us like why is everything you've done so good? Like that would be fucking it's not good. I think that when you do an interview, the idea is to get information from the candidate that we do not already have, to understand something that we don't understand. So that can be like, hey, listen, you put this plan in place to help poor people by giving them food stamps. Why did you go that direction instead of this or something else? Like that's not a adversarial question, but it's a question that we don't know the answer to that I would like to ask. Now, with that, there's also stuff that is adversarial. Okay. I think that if you do get, I mean, as an example, if you do get Trump on, you're not asking him about his golf swing. Okay. If you do get Elon on, you're not asking him about, random bullshit. You'd be like, you're giving real tough questions. And I think the most important thing is that when you ask the question and they don't answer it, we just stay there until they answer it. And that's it. And I like that as basically as a concept of what it is, actually getting answers out of people doing it. Now, everyone's like, that would be awesome, but who would agree? That is the stumbling block. But I think you guys are mistaken on one part. The people that need this interview are usually narcissists, I would imagine, usually people who are desperate to get their side of the story out, and usually people that would think that they're going to be the one that wins. I can point you to one example of this. Who the fuck is responding to CoffeeZilla's emails or interviews? None of them are positive. You know what's coming on that situation, but people do it. Why? And the simple answer is all of these people think that they're going to be the one that is going to break the mold and be like, oh shit, that makes sense. Because they're narcissists. So I do think it would work. I think you build your way up, right? Like we didn't, with anything else, like the guest caliber that we're getting is continuing to go up and up and up as a result of that because people look at it and they're seeing what we've done. I'm not saying that we're going to start with Elon Musk on day one, obviously, but can we start with a local politician? Maybe. Can we start with someone who's going through some real drama right now? Like it doesn't have to be like politically solely focused. It can be anyone. It can be a Twitch streamer currently involved in drama. It can be someone that's running a business that just fired all of their staff or someone that's reinventing their shit. It could be the CEO of Intel. Like, I think that's a format that's not done right today. And with the exception of like CoffeeZilla, but his shit is not interview based. It is.
That's true, but I think it's because he's doing the investigations as well. He's basically getting like a first comment, right?
Yeah, exactly. But that's where I think the opening is for us to do.
But we would have to
this.
do investigations. Like for CoffeeZilla, like he's about to expose you. Like you kind of have to talk to him. If we're just
Well,
hopping on drama that's already been exposed, then
we're asking questions, right? So, for instance, as an example, a great person to come on to do something like this would be like George Santos, right? Like, I want to get George Santos on. I don't want to give him like it's not like a funny meme thing. It's like a real interview. So, like, what happened? What really why did you? What was the point of this? Like, obviously, so we know like you did drag before. Why did you even want to be a Republican in that case? Why not run as a Democrat?
sure.
Right? Like,
I mean,
these are
listen,
fucking awesome
there's no
questions
point.
that-
Listen, there's no point arguing over it. I would do this 1 billion%. If you can find the guest or find somebody to find the guest or get somebody on, I will do 1 trillion% with you. 100. And actually, you bring up Santos. We were literally in a Twitter space. He's tweeted about me before. Yeah, reach out to that guy. Try to get him on. Yeah, we can do it. Fuck it. Yeah.
Okay. I think this is like a very good thing to do, and I think it lines up perfectly. Like one of the best memes we did with like the Ted Zwieba one. I loved that fucking thing on startups. It started off just like getting basic information, and then we get into it, and I love it. It's fucking awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I want. That's what I want to do. I think that's another good thing to do. Obviously, to start, we're not gonna be able to do it once a week, but as it gets going, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah. It could even just be like a special edition episode. Yeah.
No, it's not special. It's something different. It's not. I think this would not be Patreon. This would not be paywalled at all. It'd be totally free. Just
the man of the people. Wow.
For this, yes, this is different. Okay, it's not anything else thing. It would be something else. You could call it something else. But it's stuff that's meant to be seen versus fan service or anything along those lines. I think it's really.
Sure. Wait, what's that noise in the background? Is it raining where you are?
Oh, it's my cat fountain. Sorry.
You have a cat fountain?
Yeah.
Is it to drink out of, or is it to bathe in, or is it to just for show, or?
What do you think the answer of those three options that you've given to me? What do you think is the most likely answer to that?
It sounds like it's just one of those cat watering bowls, but it just has like moving water because some cat owners trick themselves into thinking cats won't drink still water because it's stale or something. So I'm guessing it's just like a water bowl that has like moving water, right?
That is the correct answer.
Okay. But when you say fountain, I have grand things that come to mind, like a fountain. There's like a whole.
It's what they're called on Amazon. Like go to Amazon and search for cat fountain. Why get a cat fountain? This is an easy thing to answer. It has been proven that cats like to drink from moving water more than they do from stagnant water, as a fact. Okay. You can do your own research on it if you don't believe me. Number one killer of cats. You know what it is? Indoor cats.
Cars. Oh.
Kidneys.
Dicks. Oh.
Getting them to drink more is probably the best thing that you can do to extend the lifespan of your cat. Like if there's nothing else that you do, getting something to get a cat to drink more water will have it live longer. That's it. This is a simple, easy thing to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, why is it that river water, why is that not salt water?
Why is river water not salt water?
Why is it fresh? Where does fresh water come from, Dan? How is it made fresh?
Well, it comes from the sky. You know, there's like a whole cycle of water evaporating from the ocean. You know, the water that comes from the ocean when it evaporates.
Yeah.
It's not salty when it comes down to Earth again.
Huh. Okay.
You know, they don't call me the saltman for nothing. I know these things. All things salt, I happen to be an expert on.
Based.
Were you being a little bit sarcastic with me asking me a stupid question there?
No, I'm just curious what the answer was.
I think you knew the answer, and I don't understand this line of attack that you do.
It's not. Why do you always feel like you're being attacked?
It was an attack. I don't know, but the thing is, it's like an attack with no. It just doesn't make sense. It's like we're talking and you throw a fucking plate against the wall and act like you didn't just do it. It's like I'm in a, you know, between two ferns interview or something. It just doesn't make sense.
Okay.
And you're like, what? I didn't attack you. I just threw a plate against the wall. What's your problem? You don't throw plates against the wall sometimes?
Sometimes I do. Actualize.org. This guy shouted you out today on his blog. I don't know the fuck this is. Leo's blog, infinite insights, miscellaneous bits of wisdom and resources on personal development, life purpose, philosophy, epistemology, non-duality, psychedelics, published randomly throughout the week. Oh my God. This is a cult leader? Oh boy. He's got 104 million views on YouTube. How can he be a cult leader? What are you talking about? Oh, he's got over 1 million subs. This guy is a... Wait, he has over 1 million subs? But only 104 million views on YouTube? Wait, how many views do I have on YouTube? The fuck?
How are his views, though?
Well, 600. I bet this guy has less than 500,000 views a month. That's my guess. How am I so good? I see into the matrix and I see the numbers. I just see everything. How the fuck does he have so many? It must be an old channel or a dead channel maybe? Or I don't know. Let's see. Insight, penetrating mental vision or discernment. The sudden act of grasping the inner nature or truth of a situation. A deep understanding of a person or thing. Insights here are meant to be quick and half-baked. Consider these food for thought. I've deliberately disabled comments to keep the blog streamlined. If you want to discuss any of the blog posts, you can do so here. What is a woman? Oh boy. The following example perfectly illustrates the stark difference between low and high cognitive development. Destiny's the only one here as a clue. Ha! I like this cult leader. I support this guy's cult, actually, now. Low cognitive development. Everyone in the video except Destiny. True! Isn't construct aware, so it takes categories for granted as objective. Moreover, low cognitive development is so unaware that it can't even understand how something like a woman can be a complex metaphysically loaded question. Therefore, it laughs at a serious answer. Wait, fuck. Okay, wait. I'm not trying to dick ride the dick rider. But this is super true. A lot of people take categories for granted, and they don't have any idea that like categories exist. They just assume it's like a feature of the universe. This is something I talked about like 12 years ago. Not really. Wait. When was 2016? 8 years ago? When I did my itty bitty dipping my toe into philosophy, is that it feels like when you start to get in, all it really does, well, I shouldn't say all it really does. One of the things it does is it makes a lot of things that you thought you had a very solid grasp of a lot more tenuous. Can we say that? Tenuous. Very weak or slight. Yes. Your understanding of things became more tenuous, where you weren't as sure before, where it's like, wait, well, I thought that this was obviously this, or this was obviously this. So categories of things, especially very broad concepts, like you could say, what would I say is a broad concept? I was going to use man or woman, but I know that triggers the fuck out of people. I don't know, anything. Yeah, we'll just say that. Anything that's not just a simple physical object or any kind of like universal category. Like these things become very complicated in unintuitive ways. Like what is a cup, or what is a chair, or what is a table, or whatever. These things can be very, like, we take it for granted that like we just know these things. High cognitive development, destiny. True. Is construct awareness that appreciates the insane complexity and metaphysically loadedness of a question such as what is a woman, and treats a question with the nuance and respect it deserves. Absolutely true. I do. So we see in this video is one mind of high cognitive development dealing with a dozen epistemically clueless baboons who act, racially loaded, who act like they understand anything, but actually understand less than nothing. Study this example carefully to understand low and high honors on our opinion. It's not that I agree with destiny. It's that destiny is construct aware. At least to some degree, its construct awareness is quite limited. Excuse me. But still orders of magnitude beyond a conservative pundit. No conservative knows what a woman is, which is why they act like jackasses when talking about this question. To understand what a woman is, you would need to do 20 years of advanced epistemology, and you would still not know. That's how serious the question is. But to a baboon, it seems that a woman is just tits in a vagina. Do you appreciate the death? Okay, cute. All right, whatever. I don't know anything about this guy. But I always appreciate the random glazing. Wait, what? Oh, no. Is this true? Somebody posted this in his message board? It's Egon. Aegon.
Does this guy exist? For sure?
I don't know.
This would be a good guy.
I think that the guy in the video is a real person, but does he exist as he's presented as? I'm not sure. I truly don't know.
Does he live in the United States, or does he live in Russia?
Right? I don't know. I don't know anything in detail about this guy. Do you think this would be considered a Third Amendment violation? What the fuck is the Third Amendment, my dude? There's like, you've got the First, Second, Fifth, and 10th. None of the other ones, nobody knows who those are.
I want you to notice.
Oh my god.
When I'm not around.
Oh my god, man. He is spitting.
Shut up. The 14th is also important. I was just talking about the Bill of Rights, okay? Secret Service busted into a salon to let people use the bathroom during a Kamala Harris fundraiser, business owner says. What is the Third Amendment? Is it the quartering troops one? The Third Amendment to the United States ratified restricts the quartering of soldiers at private homes without the owner's consent during peacetime. What? What? Who asked this? Who posted this?
Secret Service people aren't soldiers, right?
Yeah, and this looks like it has nothing to do with quartering troops. But, okay. It was worse than a bad hair day. Secret Service agents taped over a security camera and broke into a Massachusetts hair salon while securing the area for a Kamala Harris campaign event, according to the salon's owner. Jesus.
What a waste of time campaigning in Massachusetts. Why? For what reason?
There has to be
Massachusetts,
something.
I
There
don't
has to be
know.
something more to this story. This would be wild. Just a Secret Service agent walks up to a camera and puts. Oh shit! Hold on, my brain is.
Oh, fundraising. Gotcha.
I wonder if Okay, I'm gonna make a big guess right now, and then we're gonna keep reading. I wonder if when you're doing presidential things and you're clearing spaces ahead of time, I wonder if there are rules or if you put up like announcements where you can't have like cameras or something actively recording or actively broadcasting or something in the area. And so if you don't heed the warnings or whatever, they go and cover it up or something, maybe. That's my one guess here. Either that or this has nothing to do with the Secret Service. That's my guess. I don't know. But let's see. The intrusion happened on July 27th ahead of Vice President Harris's first in-person fundraiser since becoming the presumptive Democratic nominee. The intrusion happened, ahead of the in-person fundraiser. Does that mean that it was days ahead or the day of, or when was her first fundraiser? It was July 27th. Okay, seems like it. The owner of the 413 salon, Alicia Powers, told Business Insider that she closed her Pittsfield, Massachusetts business that day at the request of the Secret Service, which examined the area earlier in the week. Okay, yeah, so there was some communication ahead of time. All right. The salon is located behind the Colonial Theater, a performing arts space in the Berkshires where Harris spoke.
Berkshires.
They had a bunch of people in and out of here doing a couple of bomb sweeps again. Totally understand what they have to do due to the nature of the situation, Powers told Business Insider. And at that point, my team felt like it was a little bit chaotic, and we just made the decision to close for Saturday. A Secret Service spokesperson told Business Insider that the agency's employees would not enter without the permission of the business owner, but acknowledged an agent taped over the security camera lens. At 8:10 that Saturday morning, a Secret Service agent wearing a dark suit, an open-collared white shirt, but no pin on her lapel, walked up to the salon's front entrance while swinging a roll of masking tape in her left hand. She looked at the door, then she looked at the security camera on the porch, then she looked at the door again. She walked away. When she returned 2 minutes later, she grabbed a chair from the porch, stood on it, and taped over the Ring security camera that had been watching her. Business Insider blurred the face of a secret. The door was locked. But later that afternoon, another security camera pointing at the door from the inside of the building spotted 4 other people over the course of nearly 2 hours. 2 people wearing emergency medical services uniforms and 1 person in a camouflage law enforcement uniform walked in. The 4th person, wearing a dark suit and white shirt like a Secret Service officer, stood by the door. The salon's security alarm rang the whole time. The security footage from the 2 cameras, which Powers shared with BI, Business Insider, doesn't show anyone allowing people in. There were several people in and out for about a half an hour, just using my bathroom. The alarm's going off, using my counter with no permission, Powers said. And then when they were done using the bathroom for 2 hours, they left my building completely unlocked and did not take the tape off the camera. Powers told BI that an EMS worker later told her that the Secret Service agent in charge of security that day was telling people to come in and use the bathroom. Oof, not good. BI asked Secret Service spokesperson Melissa McKenzie whether the agency invited other people to use the bathroom. She told BI that agency employees would not tell someone to enter the salon without the owner's permission. When Powers returned to the property later that day, she found the door's lock looked like it had been picked, she told Business Insider. Okay. The people who entered the 413 salon didn't do much damage aside from leaving an untidy bathroom behind, Powers said. But what bothered her was that she saw a sheer disregard for her business by entering without permission and leaving the place unlocked when they left, she said. Powers said she felt violated. Whoever was visiting, whether it was a celebrity or not, I probably would have opened the door and made them coffee and brought in donuts to make it a great afternoon for them, but they didn't have the audacity to ask for permission. They just helped themselves. Me and my dad own the building, and I have a crazy, eccentric guy that lives upstairs, Smith told BI, and he didn't tell the Secret Service they could use it, and I didn't tell them, and my father didn't tell them. They had no permission to go in whatsoever. The day after BI initially reached out to the Secret Service for comment on this story, more than a week after it entered the business. An agency spokesperson said it had since communicated with Powers. The U.S. Secret Service works closely with our partners in the business community to carry out protective investigative missions. Secret Service has since communicated with the affected business owner. We hold these relationships. Okay. Former Secret Service agent who previously oversaw training for the agency told Business Insider that it's conceivable why a member of the Secret Service would table with a security camera lens. Pickles speculated, this is a former Secret Service agent, speculated that someone from the agency's technical services division, which handles explosives, bugging, wiring, and other physical security risks, may have wanted to limit visibility of Harris's whereabouts so the vice president were to walk into the camera's view. But invading the property to use the bathroom sounds weird, Pickle told BI. We don't just go into a place and seize it. The only time we do that is if it's a crime scene or if there's a real threat. Apparently they called Powers to apologize. Shouldn't have taken my camera without permission, and we're not supposed to enter the building without permission. Unless there's like some compelling statement put out by the Secret Service. Seems like people were just being lazy or dumb, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Just probably not. Doesn't seem like they had permission.
What is the litmus test for eminent domain for taking property from someone?
I don't know anything about the legal process of eminent domain at all, so.
You think like the city can just like take premium real estate, be like, we want to build a park there? Or does it have to be like some sort of, we have to build a highway here and this is the only way?
My guess is going to be that if you had to do something like that, you would have to show like a very, very, very compelling reason to do so. That'd be my guess, but I have no idea. I don't know if there's like different like federal law versus eminent domain versus state law for eminent domain versus like what companies are allowed to do for. I have no idea. FDOT. This is Florida, right? The department has the power of eminent domain, which is the power of the government to acquire private property for the benefit of the general public. Private domain is from the United States and Florida constitutions. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to do a whole reading on this. I'm not sure. I bet there's a Legal Eagle video on it.
Maybe. I feel like there's shit like this. Like, I'm so interested in some of these like small things like this, like Section 230. You probably think Section 230 is like a huge law, right?
No, I think isn't it literally like one clause basically?
It's two pages, the entire thing.
Oh sure.
And it's just so fucking wild, the shit there. You see the video of an Asian Andy hiring a streamer to get a squatter out of his property by being annoying.
Oh yeah, that squatting shit is whack. Jesus, is wacky and wild. My girlfriend thinks I should have a photography badge in chat. What do you think? Do we have photography badges in chat?
Oh, thank you for bringing this up. A little bit of drama to add to our morning. Yes? You never shy away from it, yeah?
Okay.
You got to get to the bottom of this KKMD shit because people are starting to rope me into it and saying, you're not doing anything now. I don't know. I'm sorry, KKMD, but like I tried to reach out to him, okay? And he was like, I already verified myself with Destiny. So that's where it is right now, is that you have verified that this dude's a doctor.
The thing is, if he's faking it, he ultra lucked out because I think the guy that started that whole obsessive investigation is an alt of the dairy guy, the dairy cipher dude.
Mm-hmm.
So I already don't care.
Yeah, but
so if he's faking it, he's
fine,
lucky that that's the guy that started the investigation. Because now I just don't give a fuck.
So okay, can I get the doctor? Can I get the Dr. Flare too?
If you send me proof that you're a doctor.
Well, what about if someone in my close orbit is a doctor?
Then I would give them the Dr. Flare if they sent me proof that they were a doctor.
We share an account.
Then no.
So what? If someone uses your account one time, you don't get to have the flare?
No.
Just once. If Nathan hopped onto your PC.
Wait, what do you mean just once? It's not your friend's account, it's your account.
Well, what about if it's her account that I just happen to use more often?
Then I'd probably just say no because that seems like a not okay thing.
Okay.
Is there evidence that somebody shares somebody else's account?
I was just doing hypotheticals here. I just don't want us, when I use the royal us here, I don't want us to get in any flack if this guy turns out to just be a giant memer.
What
So I just wanted to
flack would
make
we
sure
get
that
into?
I don't know if you're verifying people as a doctor and they're giving fucking I don't want to say medical advice, but saying things.
It's the Destiny.gg chat room, okay? We're not the fucking, okay, licensure board of Florida for medical licensing. If somebody just a license a flare in my fucking chat and they start taking medical advice, that person probably needs to die.
You say that, but people bought Intel stock after I did, and people probably bought CrowdStrike stock after you did.
They should. I don't make bad calls, ever. They
No,
should follow me.
I'm not wrong. I'm just early, right? That is that where we're at?
My Facebook calls were good. You and everyone else shot me for them, and I beat the market after a year when I tossed that. Okay, I'm a long buyer. I'm a long-term capital gains kind of guy. All right.
I rolled all of my stuff into two plays: $30 calls at the end of December for Intel, and then $20 calls. I think I have 100 of them for December 26th. So we got a big position coming up in December that stuff will start climbing. I'm hoping. The whole thing, with Intel, it's interesting. Um, the company, for whatever reason, is like, we're going to just change. So up for the longest time, Intel's main shit was just making processors, right? And they were good. They were the best. They were better than AMD. I mean, up until recently. They were the better processor across the board, with the exception probably of power efficiency. Intel was always ahead. And then they threw it away. And now the big play that they want to do is like, hey, we're gonna have our own fabs. That's gonna be our big business. We're gonna produce chips in America. And we're separating that entire thing out from like making our own processors. So I don't know. I don't like I understand that there's probably a lot of value to being because right now there's no real US based chip manufacturer besides Global Foundries, but their shit is like 14 plus nanometers, I believe. There's no modern chip production that happens in the United States. Intel will be the only one that does it. But it's just it doesn't make any fucking revenue, and it's not going to for like another year or two.
Wait, Intel
so
doesn't make any revenue? Oh, you mean the
no,
manufacturing in the U.S.?
yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
the fab shit's not up to the. Basically, they're trying to compete with TSMC, which is the Taiwan chip creator. That's like the high tech one. I do think it's good business long term. It is a little scary that the CEO seems to be so bad at being a CEO. I know he's supposed to be a technical dude, but I don't know why. Like, did you watch this whole thing with like the Intel processors, and the ionization or whatever, the oxidation? Sorry, the oxidation of their over 65 watt processors.
The oxid. Wait, have I seen what?
It's like this huge scandal right now
Oh, I've
with
heard that
Intel's
like the 13th, 14th gen chips are severely fucked. So much so that I think there's literally a class action lawsuit now against them.
Yeah, well, they're looking into it, but there's two things here that are fucked. One is, regardless of how true it is, the way that Intel has handled this has been so unbelievably bad. It's like you need to. I don't know who you need to fire there. It's just why would they do this? Why would they respond to people like Gamers Nexus or um, Linus or any of these people that are like the PC hardware enthusiasts? Like, you would say, hey, this segment doesn't matter. Okay, gaming revenue, that's not a big deal to us. It's like 1% of our bottom line. We're a server market company. Fine. But you have to be not retarded about it and understand that these same people that are losing faith in Intel, that are gamers, are probably there's going to be crossover of some of these people who also run data centers or who work in data centers, and they're like, hey, fuck it, let's go with Epic moving forward as a result of it. It's just like, I don't understand why they are so bad at responding to criticism, and also I don't understand why there's like so little outreach to the hardware community as a whole
What does
for the
Intel even make
company.
their money? What do they even sell to? Is it mainly
It,
on these like new like consumer processors or?
it's server stuff. Servers is like I think the big part. So they have servers, they have fabs, and then they have like consumer revenue, etc. But they just this last quarter, dude, you don't understand. They shed a third of their value Okay, they went from like 150 bill market cap to 100 bill. This is the price that they're at now. This is a 10-year low from them. Like I don't even it might be more than 10-year low for a price of how low it is right now.
Sounds like
It's
a good
insane.
buy. They're on sale.
Well, yeah, that's why I doubled down on it. But um, the question is, how early is too early to buy into something that will be valuable? Certainly, the only company that will have high tech fabs in the United States is going to have value, as because all it takes is one administration to say, "Hey, we're doing big tax benefits if you buy chips that are made in the United States versus in China or Taiwan or whatever," and Intel's the only one positioned to do that. As
Didn't
I
the
said,
Biden admin
global.
already basically do that with the CHIPS Act?
Yeah, that is a good thing. But I mean, that's like $10 billion or whatever that they gave to Intel. The question is, um, how early is too early to invest into something like this? If you know, I do know this will be an important strategic business and something that has a lot of value, but probably not for another year to 2 years until they're really going full speed on it. So the question is, when do you determine when to invest into a company like this? Right now, everyone's fearful, saying the company's being steered into the ground, but they're building out these massive fabs inside the United States with huge amounts of um, investment. And this is still a company, by the way, that up until like last year had the same gross revenue as like Nvidia did. So yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling with that part. Obviously, if you try to wait until 2026, the price isn't going to be what it is today at this point, you know? So Dan, they fired 10,000 people. Do you think they're going to be fine in 1 to 2 years? Well, the question is, where are they firing those 1 to 2, or sorry, the 10,000 people? What department are they in? How are they? Apparently, Intel has this entire culture of like badges, and there's like blue badges and green badges determining if you're an employee versus a contractor. And it sounds like a really stupid way to run the company. Um, but yeah, Intel has 120,000 employees. I think they probably should maybe get rid of some. I think that company needs to be shaken up a lot. It's it's wild that Intel is at this place right now, the least valuable. Who would have thought Nvidia, a fucking graphics card maker, would be more valuable than Intel or AMD or just any of these companies? It's fucking crazy. Qualcomm, is Qualcomm more valuable? It might be. Um, yeah, Qualcomm's more valuable. Is Texas Instruments more valuable? Texas Instruments is more valuable. Like this does not make fucking sense. You know what I mean? When you look at the like, there's so much lack of confidence in Intel right now that they're just getting destroyed. Because Intel has like it's trading below its book value. That's the wild shit. The assets that they have minus the debt and the prices below that. That's not a good sign. That means investors are just like panicking on this company. I love this stuff, fucking chatter. Dan Omegalol, you need GPUs for a lot of shit. Fuck off. Yeah, and you don't need processors for a lot of shit also. And Nvidia makes GPUs, and you should probably stop breathing if I could make that suggestion for you. Um, yeah, I don't know. Boeing and Intel, man, those are the two. Those are the real plays to put $500,000 into, not CrowdStrike.
Oh yeah, how's Boeing doing?
I don't know. Both of these companies are like, what are you doing?
Who is Airbus a company?
Yeah.
Who else makes planes besides Boeing, Airbus? Who else does consumer?
Well, Lockheed Martin.
No, like
Oh,
consumer
commercial.
commercial planes.
Um,
Gulfstream,
yeah, but
Embraer.
those
I think I've only seen.
Embraer does. Yes, that's true. Embraer does. But I think they make smaller
I
jets,
think
like
I've
kind
only
of
seen in the U.S. I think
reasonable.
I've only seen like Airbus and Boeing planes. I might have seen Gulfstream, maybe one of those for an international flight. I don't remember.
No, I don't think so. That's like a jet.
Who may? Okay, maybe not then. I've seen weird names for some international flights, I think, but I don't. Who makes commercial planes USA? Delta Domestic is almost all Embraer, are they? Current US
Bombardier
Delta domestic.
doesn't make. We're not counting private jets. I don't think that counts. So Bombardier doesn't count. Their biggest plane only holds 19 people. Let's look at Embraer.
These look like they hold more than 19 people, no?
The Bombardier? No.
Well,
That's...
this one holds 20. Okay, these are pretty small.
I wonder if Embraer makes commercial planes.
Oh, no, wait, never mind. You're right. That was 50 seats. Okay. It's different classes.
Which one?
It's 10, 20, 20. This, whatever this Bombardier CRJ 550 is.
Interesting. I don't know. When I go to their website, why would they not list this? Like when you go to bombardier.com/aircraft.
A lot of the parts in the planes come from different companies. It's really hard to start a plane company, but if you make engines or cabins or wings, it's easier. Yeah, that'd be my guess.
What are you thinking about for your CrowdStrike shit? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna? So first off, you can do the option shit.
I'm not signed up for any website that offers that shit. I haven't done any of the reading to figure out how any of that shit works. I just buy the stock and I sit and wait.
No, I understand you buy the stock. You understand what options are, right?
Yes, I understand that if I understood the math well enough, or if I understood what implied volatility all that is, that I could technically hedge my position.
You don't have to know all that shit, right? The idea is that if you're putting $500,000 into CrowdStrike, you could just say, let me have the option that if this shit goes to $100, I'm going to make $400,000, and that doesn't cost you that much money.
Sure, but the cost for those options are going to vary based on what the market thinks. Like, it's not like options just sell for the same price all the time.
No, they don't. Of course, yeah.
So I don't know if I haven't done enough reading to. I don't even know how those are priced out. So I just buy the stock and I sit on it.
Yeah. I mean, I only have bought options for Intel. Like, I'm not buying any of the stock there because to me, if I'm like, okay, I'm waiting 3 years, you get a fucking huge discount buying options on it. It's like you essentially, the downside is, of course, you can be left with nothing. But if the stock kind of stays where it's at or goes up, you magnify your gains essentially. Well, I mean, it depends by whatever it is. But
the way that the premium works, if I buy options, it should always be a losing buy, right? You understand that?
Well, you're talking like what? If you buy insurance, you should always lose. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, no. That insurance is designed to insure, and also
wait. Insurance is designed to make the insurance sellers
when you buy
money.
options. When you buy options, like for instance, that's not necessarily that someone thinks you're going to lose money. It's that they're saying, you know what? If Intel goes to $100 a share, I will gladly have sold it to you for $50 a share. So if you want to pay me right now for the right to buy Intel for $50 in 2 years, I'll do that. Because if Intel's $50 in 2 years, I'm happy. So that's why those people, they collect a premium on it.
Yeah, but the options contracts are going to be priced in with what the market thinks the security is going to do, the direction it's going to move. So if there's a good chance that security is going to plummet, there's going to be a big premium on those options. So the idea that I can just buy that as a free hedge is probably not true.
It's not a free hedge, of course.
Not only is it not a free hedge, chances are it's going to be a losing hedge unless I feel like I have information that the market doesn't, or I can make a better buy.
That's not true. People, when they have large stakes in stocks, what they do is they buy negative options against it to protect their investment.
You're just stating what an option is, but
no. But you're saying that it by default it loses. That's not the case. Smart investors will do this strategy to make sure that no matter what happens, that their position comes out. I don't want to say ahead, but that they're covered in the case of a catastrophic collapse. Like for instance, you have CrowdStrike right now. What price did you buy into it as?
I don't remember. I think it's down 15% where I bought it.
Okay. Like maybe at 300 you bought it, or
Let me check. Hold on.
when I said a negative option, I meant a put. Sorry, not a call. Jesus Christ. People fucking losing their mind. All the actually a negative option. Just fucking stop breathing, please.
Damn.
Okay, let's look at. I want to look at puts for CrowdStrike. So you bought 500K worth of this shit. When do you think it's going to be back? If you had to guess, when do you think it'll be back to the current price of where you bought it at?
I have no idea. Hopefully in a year I can
What's
sell
your-
it for a big profit. I have no idea. It's
Okay,
at 440
year.
right now. What?
So let's go to September. Actually, no. Let's go to August 15th, 2025. Wait, why is it not showing prices on any of these? Never mind, I can't do it. I don't know. This thing is acting fucking crazy. No, I can't. We'll just do April instead. Okay. So, what do you think the worst case is?
I don't know. They declare bankruptcy?
Okay. Do you care at all about protecting that downside at this point, or are you just fucking in it? And if it goes to shit, that's
Fuck
it.
It's a security. It's a stock. Fuck it. I'm in it. If to protect downside means I have to sacrifice necessarily some upside.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Yes.
no, I don't care that much about it. I believe what Cake told me a month ago. They're here to stay.
What
He's my guy.
What I still don't. I mean, why do you not have full coverage insurance on your car? I mean, I guess
I
you
never
don't
get
drive
into
enough.
accidents. By this point in my life, my guess
But
is
it's not about someone else. It's about some unemployed, uninsured dude smashing into you.
my guess is at this point in my life, I probably saved more money in not paying for full coverage insurance than I would get even on a full payout right now. That'd be my guess.
Will you get full coverage if you buy a new fancy car?
I don't know. I have to think about it. Maybe, maybe not. Can you clarify your position on insurance? Sounds like you're saying it's never worth it to buy insurance ever because the insurance company is priced in such a way that makes profit. I hope this isn't your take because it's retarded. Good job, Mike. I don't feel like going into this right now because I'm too lazy to explain it, but the way that insurance is going to work on basically any event relating to buying a stock is what insurance is going to do. The way that the math should work out, assuming everybody in the market is doing what they should be doing, is on any given thing, if you buy here, hold on.
I hate you so much. This is such a bad take.
I know. Thank you. Yes, please cry about the same shit you cried about for fucking years. I super don't give a fuck. Okay. What insurance should do is, let's say that you buy a given security, and the security, let's say that you buy it at this point, and let's say that your hope is that the security rises, and then you can sell it at this point. Okay. Let's say that there's like a world of possibilities where the stock could actually go up like this much. And let's say there's a world of possibilities where the stock could actually go down this much. Okay. If you're using options or some other derivative contract to try to hedge against certain losses, what you're basically doing is you're tightening up your window of possible outcomes, right? So you're paying a premium on some type of option. You're paying a premium, meaning you're lowering your potential gains in order to decrease your potential losses. All basically what insurance is doing here, or what using options contracts in form of insurance is doing, is all you're doing is you're tightening up the window of potential outcomes that could happen here. But if you're so confident, if you're so sure that the stock is going to drop, right? If you're so positive that this is going to happen, and that's why you're buying quote unquote insurance for it, then the premiums on this buy down here are going to be really, really, really high, and it's going to push your profit window to almost nothing, or it'll even set it below depending upon what the math works out at for some of these contracts here. But that's, yeah, but I don't care that much. It's not like that. I'm not like, if I was investing $100 million, maybe I would care, but that's what's happening. If you buy insurance, what you're trying to do is you're trying to smooth out adverse events over a long period of time. However, you're smoothing out those adverse events at a premium. The premium is the the price that you're paying that you wouldn't have had to otherwise in order to smooth out the volatility of those particular things. So if you're really wealthy, things like health insurance are generally a decent buy because the cost to you is very low, but you're hedging against a catastrophic event that could cost you tens of millions of dollars if you get like cancer. I don't know if cancer would be tens of millions of dollars, but like hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars potentially. You're hedging against those types of risks. That's what insurance is. Insurance is sacrificing some upside to protect against some downside. That's it. You're tightening your shit up.
Listen, I feel, especially for you, an umbrella policy and shit like that, you're like, oh, why would I do that? It's $3,000 a year. What a waste. And the difference is that one adverse moment in your life doesn't fucking bankrupt you. Yeah, because you know what? $3,000 a year means literally nothing to you. It means nothing to you. But if you're driving and you fucking accidentally smash into someone and you cripple them or you kill them, guess what? Your entire life savings is gone. Everything you have is gone. Okay? It's not just evening out the spread, it's preventing you from losing everything that you have because of a moment. Okay? And like there's policies, like umbrella policies, that cover pretty much everything that you could think of for the most part. Yes, there's carve outs, but there's even shit that would affect you directly. Things like defamation or libel or smashing into someone in your fucking car because you drive insane. Like, yes, you can afford $40,000 to buy a new car. Can you afford the $2.5 million judgment against you because you were doing 75 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone and you fucking handicapped some kid that walked out in the street that wasn't looking both ways? You probably are not going to be so pleased with that. So the idea behind the insurance is not so much protecting, well, it is. It's protecting your investment, but it's protecting your investment from a total catastrophic loss. And you're a rich guy. To you, $3,000 a year means nothing. Okay, but it protects you from 100 different angles of you losing everything that you've worked for the last 10 years.
Bayzed, true.
You don't agree. You say Bayzed.
No, it's probably true. Why not sell options against your stock then? Selling options is going to do the exact opposite as buying options if you're hedging against risk. All selling options will do is they will increase your potential upside, but also increase your potential downside. That's all it would do. You're just widening or tightening the range of possibilities that could happen when you own a particular stock.
Is Rob or Pisco on the list yet, or no? Are either of them close?
Pisco is not even close. Rob, I'm not sure if I don't know if I'll talk to him again. We'll see.
What made you the most upset in that conversation? Was it literally just the lying to you? Like you were first off, I guess you were talking to him already with a level of like, okay, I have to play this fucking game because you guys like explain away everything and this hand wavy bullshit. But now he's lying to you directly. Was that bit like, okay, I give you a lot of latitude and now you're just gonna fucking lie to me also? Or was it, I don't know. What do you feel?
The AI bot was really annoying. There was
Was it annoying because you were like, obviously you need people to argue with. It can't all be like, little mini destinies that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like there was one other thing he did that I keep forgetting to bring up that was more annoying than even the lying thing. But the lying is just annoying is because when I catch people doing things sometimes there's like no repercussion, but I feel like if I were to do it, I'm not saying it would be the end of my debate career, but these would be things that would haunt me to the end of time. Yeah, it's very annoying that Pisco is trying to like crucify me, saying that I lied about reading that Colorado Supreme Court case. I still don't know where he gets that impression from. I'm trying to think of, he did something else. The lying about the ChatGPT thing was really fucking annoying. Fuck, I wish I could remember the other thing. Yeah, there's something else. But the fighting on every single thing like relentlessly is like really.
I mean, you knew so look, to a certain extent, these guys are bad faith coming in because for the most part, what they defend is undefendable, right? And they have to do like parlor tricks and debate tactics and whataboutism to even have a conversation with you with many of the things that they talk about. It's like, let's go on and talk for 6 hours about the debate of what an insurrection is technically as it's defined here. Look, they said they don't do it, not they will not don't do it. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So why do you care so much that he lied about the ChatGPT thing when basically the entire premise of debating with conservatives is they're just all bad faith to begin with?
He tried to because later on he would go to attack my knowledge, saying that I hadn't read things that that I hadn't, but it's because he misunderstood how I was even citing things. Like I'm citing things from a different paper, it's called an amicus brief, somebody writing into a court to give arguments about some court cases. And then he's like, well, you're not even familiar with these court cases. I'm like, I'm familiar with them insofar as they're referenced in this brief, but I haven't read all of these underlying cases. No. But he's like trying to attack me for my level of knowledge and he's not even just asking the bot questions. He's like bloatedly asking the bot questions. And it's just, I don't know. That whole thing was very, very, very irritating. Him trying to attack me later on by saying that, like, oh, like the Vietnam protests were all insurrections or whatever. I'm like, okay, which one? And he doesn't even have one. It just, all of that was just like really, really, I don't know. I think the whole thing was just very, very, very frustrating.
So is it beyond the pale of the normal bullshit you deal with it from them? Like, why is this that much more bad faith? It's just,
I feel like on everything else, like on the Durham report or on the, on stuff relating to Flynn or whatever, I feel like there are angles that you can argue, even if I think they're kind of wacky, but like a lot of it is like diving into the FBI reports, diving into the special prosecutor stuff and like having different interpretations. Like I felt like there was more, but maybe not. Maybe now that I'm Vyvanced up, maybe if I start reading a lot of this underlying material, maybe Rob actually is just fucking insane. And I should have never given him credit. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll know if we do one more argument in the future. We'll see.
Why not just the fact that these people's livelihood depends on them being the best debater for the wrong position?
Yeah, but it doesn't even. He's not even like an online. He has a real job. He just has this like for fun on the side.
Sure, but you can say that. But also, he is getting a fan base. He's getting attention. Like that's another form of capital. Like people liking you and being your friend and things along those lines. Like that is another piece of the puzzle, right? It's not just
I don't think Rob sees me as like a clout leechy type of thing. He would try to jump on and argue way more. I don't think he's like that.
Okay. So you don't think he cares about like growing his audience or being big or anything along those lines?
I think he does a little bit, but if he wanted to do it like in a mischievous like leechy way, he would be going way, way, way more into that.
I don't know. I feel I'm surprised this. I don't want to say it's affected you so much or more so that you were just this like, that it got you this pissed off. Like this is.
Well, I think the issue is that like it was like a 5.5 hour convo. It seems like it's really, really, really hard. It seems like it's really difficult to get people to approach adversarial conversations in good faith, and I tried so hard. Like there are if you watch the whole first hour, I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to crucify you with some definition. We can go back and we can redefine it later. I'm not trying to like get you. There's no traps. But like he could not move himself out of this like frame of mind of like, okay, let me just answer this. Or let's just figure out this hypothetical and then we just move. Like he couldn't do it. That bothered the fuck out of me.
It's not that he can't do that. It's that they won't do it because doing it has them by default essentially losing whatever argument.
No, I understand. Won't, whatever. I'm just saying that it was beyond irritating to me. No,
it is irritating. Like, it's especially irritating, I think, because not all people on the left, but I should say people in the center, but people in the center are not, like, denying that Biden is fucking old. Even when he was still running before Kamala, like, yeah, he's fucking old. I wish we didn't have a senior citizen that was going to be the president. That sucks. You weren't having Democrats, like, fucking hand-waving this away like this wasn't going to be the case. But for some reason, every Republican, there's like no Republicans that's like, yeah, Trump's fucking old. He can't put a sentence together. None of them will do it. It's just, it's, I don't know. I don't know why it surprises you. That's all.
Yeah, well. One thing I've done with a couple people, and then Rob kind of unintentionally revealed this with the AI thing. One thing that I think was really interesting is asking people, like, what would you search for? How would we search for this? I feel like I'm going to walk through more people with that. Like, what would you Google or what would we look for in order to find out, the answer to this particular thing? I think watching people do research and watching people search for things is very illuminating to figure out, like, how they're getting their opinions, yeah.
I mean, a lot of them just won't engage in hypotheticals as well, and that's the problem, because hypotheticals are a tool to help us easily understand the problem as a whole. And you're like, okay, so Trump did this. How would you feel if Joe Biden did that? And it's like, well, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the same. How do you engage with that type of a person that will not engage in the most basic of a hypothetical, but instead wants to basically just change the entire thing? You can't. The answer is you can't. And you should only expect bad faith shit. You should only expect ChatGPT and erroneous answers, and them. You know one thing that you don't do, okay, is or at least I don't think you've done it recently, is tell me exactly where that's cited. You're not saying that to someone because you wouldn't expect, that's unreasonable to have someone to be like where that is. But they will do that to you constantly. It's like, okay, where's the law that says that, Destiny? Where's the law? And of course you're not going to have it. You know that it's a law. You know that it's somewhere.
Yeah, it's
But you're not
really
gonna have
annoying.
it.
I don't even care. The thing is, there's multiple layers of stuff that I get hit with that makes that unbearable. Like, I will never, and I say this to people, and if I do ask for a source in the middle of a debate, I will always say that, like,
Get it
listen,
later, no
I don't
big deal.
normally, or I'll say, like, listen, I don't normally ask this, or I understand you might not have this on hand, but can you tell me what you read? Okay, like, even if I do ask in a debate, it's usually pretty, like, I'll hedge, or I won't hedge, but I'll say that, like, listen, I understand if you don't have this. But then whenever, when I'm in a debate with other people, they will, yeah, sometimes they'll hardcore, like demand, like, I need to see this, or show me that, or who sourced this, or where did you see this? And it's like, Jesus, okay, well, let me try and fucking, search for it or look for this particular thing. But then when the debates are over and then other people are talking about me, people say that I do all the other things that the other people that debate me do that I never do. Like principally, I just don't do these things. That drives me fucking insane.
Yeah, they're I don't know. At what point do you realize, like, basically these people that are on the far right or far left spectrum are unreasonable, completely and truly. And like, obviously we're harping a little bit right here on Rob and being a conservative, but you know that was the same with the lefty arc as well. These people are completely naive and will not do hypotheticals as well when it came to socialism. It's like, okay, so let me ask you this: under socialism, what happens when nobody wants to be
Yeah, you'll
the
ask
guy
a
that picks
question,
up the trash?
or you'll ask, like, what happens when a worker is lazy, and they'll be like, oh, that's an insane. I don't have the details of all of my plan, and it's like, bro, really? You can't even, like, this is like a very basic. I think Ethan did this to Hassan, didn't he? Like, Ethan asked a very basic question about and Hassan just like disintegrated.
This list of weapons.
And it's like, really? You can't answer like this? Just like, this one simple question? Okay, dude. Yeah, but
I don't know. I feel, don't be so hard. I don't say be hard on yourself. Don't be like, don't. You were, the problem is that you were giving Rob too much faith and credit and treating him like more of a person than he is, and you shouldn't have done that. And that's what it is. And I get it. He's a nice guy or whatever, but like, he is a person that is serving to what?
You're about to dehumanize him. I can feel it.
No, I'm sorry. He's a person that is out there to serve his goals. He's not interested in changing his mind or learning from a subject. He's only interested in proving what he thinks to be right, or what he wants to be right in that case, right? These people, they're not listening to you. They're just waiting for their turn to talk.
Sure, but I mean,
it's funny.
If I don't conduct myself in a certain way, then it all ends up being worthless anyway. So, because then even if they did come to talk decently, then I would be getting no good conversation because I would just be going unhinged.
So one thing. All right. So again, I'm going to do some work on the show, the adversarial thing. Let me ask you, the biggest problem. I already know what the biggest problem is going to be. Let's say we get someone like George Santos or Trump or whoever. It doesn't matter, right? Mm-hmm. You're asking them a tough question, one that they don't want to answer. So, like, in the example of like Trump, it'd be like, do you still want to ban all Muslims? You said this. He's not going to answer that question, right? And pretty much any other person in that situation is not going to answer that question. They're going to do their typical ramble shit. How do we, when that comes up, make them answer?
I mean, I can make them answer. It's just, it's going to be very, very, very combative, and I don't think people are going to ever want to come onto the show.
But why do people do the interviews with CoffeeZilla, right?
Because he's exposing them. If the New York Times, it's like
a change my mind thing.
No, it's not. If the New York Times emails me and they say, "Hey, Destiny, just curious, have you ever raped a kid?" I'm probably not even responding to that. That's a wild email. What the fuck? But if the New York Times emails me and they say, "Hey, by the way, we think you raped a kid. We're running a story on this in 2 weeks. Do you have a comment?" You better believe I'm fucking calling in and be like, "Oh, hold the fuck on. What do you mean? What? I'm gonna have all sorts of comments." Yeah, it's because CoffeeZilla is breaking the story. He's doing the investigation. He's gonna publish something on it. So when he calls people, of course he can get them to talk because he's about to publish something. So it's like it's in their interest to say something at that point.
So I guess at the point for where we're at then is, what happens to the people after CoffeeZilla? As an example, then, right? So they just did a thing on or Logan Paul or something like that. He just did something on it. Where does Logan Paul go after this? He has a lot of people. He's going to fight now against the battle, right? Can we be like that? That arena. It's like everyone else has made their judgment on you. They're going on this show to answer hard hitting questions. Like that's the goal, I think, to be to that point. We're not out here.
Why would
doing...
Logan Paul? The only shows he would go on, and I can just watch and see. Maybe I'm wrong. My guess would be the only shows that Logan Paul will ever go on to discuss anything relating to CoffeeZilla are going to be shows with hosts that he has good relationships with. That dude's not going on to
for Logan Paul.
Shows.
That's a bad example. I would agree on that, but I think there are other people that would come to fight, more narcissistic people or whatever. Like, I mean, I hate continuing this. Like Martin Shkreli would come on if he was in like another controversy, right? Like he would come on and defend it.
Sure, but that's because he literally has nobody that would.
I don't know if that's true that he has no one. He does quite a bit of interviews. I think he has a pretty big presence. I think it's because he likes fighting. And I think there's a lot of people out there that believe that either they can sway your mind or that they enjoy the battle, that they would come on here. I mean, it's kind of like the entire like debate bro, ask yourself community. Like, why does that shit exist? Like everyone's like gearing up like, oh, he's going to go and try and debate fucking whatever that retard's name is, Darth Dawkins or whatever the fuck it is. I think there's enough people out there that want to explain and think they can spin their narrative enough that we would be swayed, that they would come on and do it. If it was like a finding the truth type of show.
Okay.
As someone
I mean, you
can
says. Reach out and ask.
I will. Are you and Shkreli good, by the way? I do remember last time it was a little frisky, but did you patch it up after that or no?
I can't tell with him. I have no idea.
Interesting. That is true also, what someone says. There has to be some episodes where we're convinced by the person. And it can't always be like we're dragging someone over the coals and we're coming in there with a preset mind and that's it. If there are episodes where we don't know the situation, right? We know this person's in a huge drama and they come on there and we ask them questions like, okay, so why did you do this? Like there should be episodes where they are exonerated. It's like, oh, that makes sense. That's really fucking stupid. This is happening to you. This is like omega cringe. Basically, a few accounts tweeted this, it got picked up, and no one even knew this piece of thing that you weren't allowed to do this. Like, I think that is what makes people come on, hoping that they're going to have that moment.
Yeah, I mean, we could try it. Yeah, all we could do is try it, see what happens. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you can get it done, it would be fun to do. I just think it's really, really hard to get anybody to agree to show up.
I agree. It's going to be hard, but I got a plan.
Okay.
That's step one of the battle. All right. I'll let you get on to January 6th. What's the culmination of all this, by the way? At what point are you Israel'd out on J6? How much longer?
Hopefully 3 days.
I think 3 days and you'll know enough about this?
Well, it's not about knowing enough about this. It's about having putting together the story. But
when you say you're putting together a story, what do you mean? I thought
I think there is a
conservatives. Go ahead.
I think that there is a no, it's not. It's just about putting out a nice video. I think there's a very cool, very interesting story about everything that happened relating to the Trump coup stuff. I think that the narrative has been completely obliterated by conservatives and the whole Trump derangement syndrome and everything. And so nobody's like put together like a cohesive, interesting, like just telling of everything that happened with like a really strong sourcing document to back it all up. So I'm just kind of, doing that.
Are you actually going to do like a Johnny Harris style video?
I don't know if August is up for like editing something like that, or if I don't even know.
That would be if you do that, that's good. That would be fucking awesome. Okay. If you do one of these every once in a while, that would be based. Okay. Do one on Israel, like a 1 hour video where you do or I don't know, maybe not an hour. That's too long. But a Johnny Harris video, you can do that, and you can make it compelling. And there's no, and you'd have all the facts. You wouldn't be even doing bullshit about it, right? Like that would be based. Why would August not want to do that?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know how hard that video would be to produce, maybe. But yeah, no, I mean, it'd be good. They're probably good, but well, we'll see.
Okay. All right, I'll let you go. Have a good one.
Have fun.
See you later. Bye.
Ooh.